you may want to go on mute. Good morning, everyone. This is Reza Kamran speaking here. I'm the Senior Director of Product Marketing at Intermedia. We are thrilled to have you guys here join us today for this webinar. And we will be starting in a couple minutes. We just want to make sure that we give folks enough time to join the webinar, and then we'll get started. So about 2 minutes.
I think that's it.
Okay, folks. Good morning, and thank you so much for your patience. Thank you all for joining us in this webinar today. Again, my name is Reza, and I am the Senior Director of Product Marketing here at Intermedia. And today we're going to really cover off some product updates and features and some really exciting things that we wanted to talk through, and new things for our partners. And these general updates will really focus around essentially how some of these capabilities work and what this means from an Intermedia partner perspective. So just to cover off the agenda that we're going to cover today, I apologize, we seem to be having some technical difficulties here. We'll go through some housekeeping items right now first, but let's go to the next slide if we can. Okay. So while we figure this thing out, apologize. The areas that we're going to cover off are going to include a few areas. One is giving you guys some insight and information on some enhancements that we've made for our desktop and mobile application service for Unite. We also want to walk through some new security capabilities that we've enabled called spam caller protection. Fairly excited about this product and have received some wonderful feedback from both customers and some partners. We recently, the organization has made a contact center acquisition, an organization called Telax, a company based out of Toronto that we also wanted to update our partners with. A lot of information to come on this, but we certainly wanted to provide a little bit more information to you. Some partner training material and promotions that are also at your disposal, and we'll round it off with some Q&A as questions come up. Now, just so everybody's aware, and as part of these housekeeping items, you have on the top area of your bar 3 ways to sort of connect and provide information. Because we're very sentimental people, we have icons there for how you're feeling during the webinar. Somebody's really excited there. Well, that's really great. Anyway, so during this webinar, feel free to send any emotions, at your disposal, a little fun thing. The icon with a question mark is allowing you to send questions. So during the webinar, we won't talk about it but certainly at the end, we will bring up any questions that you have, and we'll do our best to obviously answer those questions. Okay, so let's start with mobile and desktop applications. And the first thing we wanted to talk about, because I know a number of partners have had an interest in this, is the launch of Business SMS. So now through Intermedia Unite, you have the ability to send and receive unlimited text messages across Canada, US, and Puerto Rico to your customers or colleagues, and this is available both on your desktop application as well as your mobile application. I know there has been some questions related to the availability of this. This is a free service to all Unite users. It is accessible for all individual DID phone numbers. So as long as there's a user account and a phone number, the accessibility will exist there. It is not available for hunt groups though, so we wanted to be very clear about that. But this will be obviously a stepping stone into a number of areas, the next phase of this obviously being MMS and photos, which is something that we're working through in the roadmap, and we'll have more updates for you on it. In addition to that, we've also launched very recently the contact management capabilities. So again, through your desktop, this gives you the ability to manage your company contacts, personal contacts, through your system, all sort of through the one desktop application. And like I said, the value of this is allowing you as an organization, especially if you're having business applications for communication, to start centralizing a lot of that information. This is really combined with the next slide, which talks about contact sync capabilities. So through your mobile app specifically, we have now enabled the ability for you to be able to sync through your Android device, your iOS device, to sync your contacts from popular third-party platforms, Office 365, Google, Exchange, Outlook. And as long as your phone essentially is connected to these, the sync capabilities that we tie into will essentially transform that into your Unite app. The value of that is it's not just limited to the mobile app. Any app that you're using, desktop or mobile, will then sync with those contact information components. So like I said, with all the difficulties of using so many different platforms, our intention is from a business perspective to at least centralize that into a single area. So the way to enable this, we have some instructions, is you would essentially go into your settings, and then from your settings, you would be able to click on Sync Contacts to Unite. You see that currently in the off mode. Once you click that and turn that on, you have the ability to have it run in the background, or essentially sync the contacts at that immediate instance to then be used accordingly. So a pretty cool service, simple, easy to use, and efficient. Now, one thing I will also add is that in your box, when you're creating a new message, there will now be a drop-down available for you for SMS messaging. So it's not just team messaging, but SMS. You'd literally click on it and be able to then start texting it out to users that also obviously have a mobile phone and use text messaging capabilities. Go next. So let's talk through a little bit about Spam Filter. This is a new service. Spam Caller Protection is a new service that we've launched. And what we've seen in the marketplace today is that this is actually a much bigger issue than we had anticipated. And a lot of these things that are happening are being driven by consumer and small business customers. And we've seen things like an impact of almost $10 billion of lost revenue and worker productivity, stolen money, just in 2018 alone, from small businesses that are being hit by essentially telemarketers or fraudulent calls. And there's an estimated roughly about 400,000 fraudulent calls that are placed in the U.S. alone every single year. I mean, that's an average of 146 average robocalls placed per person in America just last year. So obviously the opportunity here is the ability to provide some additional services that allow organizations, especially in the SB world, that don't necessarily have the big IT budgets, to be able to leverage this service as a means to basically, be more productive and enhance security capabilities within their applications. So what does it include in terms of capabilities? So the customer benefits are, as we mentioned, the ability to now increase security capabilities, so protect your business and employees from fraud and harm, productivity improvements, being able to maximize efficiency of your employees. They're not being wasting any time with any type of spam calling. And the last one is flexibility and control. Initially out of the gate, the spam caller protection is essentially going to be something that is controllable from an administrator perspective. So it gives the ability to not only detect, alert, but also block calls for all of your users or very specific users, depending on how you want it to be set up. The other value is the service is free for all Intermedia Unite users. And as we mentioned, it's configurable by the administrator. The next phase of this will be a user interface that will be available to end users. So at an end user level, you'll actually be able to do the same thing. So the administrator will be able to control the overarching experience, but end users will have similar capabilities, and that's something that we're working through as part of the next phase. So I wanted to just spend a few minutes talking about this as well in terms of the competitive analysis here. And one thing that I'll mention to you is there has been an evolution that's really been happening when it comes to spam caller protection. So especially in the UCaaS world. So in earlier days, a lot of our competitors that have been in the marketplace have been offering things like blacklisting, something as you guys may have seen, where you have the ability, telemarketer has a number, they call into a number, and then through the system you allow it to say, okay, you know what, this is really making me mad, I want to block this number, and you block the number. Unfortunately, a lot of the telemarketers are getting smarter, and so it's becoming easier and easier and more cost effective to increase the number of times that they change phone numbers on every single call. So it's actually a science behind it. So the evolution then moved towards things like call screening, and this is something that most competitors have today that are available within the auto attendant. So what this will do is it allows for automated calls that are coming through the system or robocalls that are coming through the system that then hit the auto attendant first. Auto attendant automatically has a screening capability that that allows you to if that automatic call is coming through and a real person is not picking it up, it'll wait a few seconds and then eventually nobody picked up and it goes away. Now, unfortunately, those two things have never been foolproof. The telemarketers are continuously getting smarter and smarter. And so the real-time spam automation that we're talking about, which is really spam caller protection, is based on a real-time database that is updated. And this database essentially is fed against when an actual call is coming through. So as the call is physically coming through, the system sniffs against the database and then will determine whether this service is actually a spam, a fraud call at that point. In your settings, so how this gets enabled is that through your host pilot, in your actual host pilot, you can actually click on settings, the administrator, and there are three things that you can do within settings under spam caller. One, you'd have a list of fraud calls, spam calls, or suspected spam calls that you can set up by user, and then determine what you want to do with that particular user. Do you want, the calls, for example, to be, can you go back one slide? Do you want the calls to be blocked, for example? Do you want the calls to be tagged to the message? So, for example, they see the message and says spam, so they know not to pick it up. Or to be able to, forward or route these calls to voicemail. All those options are available to you. And like I said before, this is a completely free service for our Intermedia Unite users, and I think it's a great enhancement for you to be able to go to, your small business customers and be able to showcase some of the additional enhanced security capabilities that really enhance their experience with Unite. Okay, next slide. So let's take a step back and talk a little bit. I wanted to talk a little bit about our recent contact center acquisition here. The contact center acquisition is an organization called Telax, and this acquisition really helps advance Intermedia's position, not just as a cloud communication and collaboration leader, but now adding additional contact center as a service offerings. And so contact center seats they're designed to provide higher revenues, higher margins, and much more stickiness to customers that really have, some specific, unique contact center needs. Having said that, the value of this solution will be, from our perspective, is having a contact center solution that is really designed and it's built for small business and mid-sized business customers. If you look at contact center solutions that are out there today, they're very enterprise-driven, and that represents enterprise-driven from a pricing perspective, and in many cases, overkill in terms of features and capabilities. Our intention basically is to take this, offer capabilities like multi-channel support, voice, email, SMS, web chat, advanced call routing capabilities, reporting capabilities, and workforce management. These are all the capabilities that are actually built in today. This solution is intended to be a tightly integrated solution with a UCaaS offering so that organizations that we're positioning UCaaS for can easily integrate in a very similar experience. And so for partners, what this means is not only the additional opportunities for revenue, reoccurring revenue, but an integrated experience that you can now offer to your customers across unified communications and contact center, or a standalone contact center offering. That's also available. And all the basic capabilities that we provide are known from Intermedia, the administrative control capabilities, the 5-9 uptime and SLA capabilities, the marketing, the training, the billing capabilities, the support and JD Power certification capabilities. This is all the stuff that's just going to be included. We're just enhancing this through a contact center offering. Now, we're going to have more information to come over the next several months, but what I will tell you is if you do have a contact center opportunity, this is at your disposal today. Feel free to contact your channel manager, and they can go through any details with you on this particular opportunity, as well as be able to guide you through steps in terms of support as we continue to get ready with a much more integrated experience. So we also wanted to talk through a little bit about some beta launches and minor updates. And these are things that are available right now, but something that I did want to reiterate to our partners. First and foremost is we have a beta capability for Autotask. And those that are using Autotask will know that a lot of challenges that MSPs run into in supporting partners is a lot of the administration and numerous products and services that are out there that don't necessarily have a fully integrated capability with an overall service provisioning and billing system. And so one of the intentions that we've done with Autotask is to sort of eliminate that, at least from the UCaaS perspective, to be able to offer the ability for partners to be able to export billing data usage directly into Autotask accounts. So making things like customer invoicing much more easier and simpler. It also enables things like automated service ticketing, the ability to create service tickets through Autotask when customer quality or service issues are detected in Intermedia. So this, and combined with things like the partner portal, the portal essentially for QoS that allows you to sort of detect service capabilities that are happening right now at either individual customer sites or on a map across various sites, integrated into a common experience through service ticketing is where the value is. Simplify administration so that you can focus on selling customers and not necessarily be as concerned with the back end. Our intention with Autotask is really to continuously improve this. Now, I will tell you, because this is in beta, we are looking for partner feedback on this. So the opportunity to download this is available for all of our voice partners. You can go into Host Pilot, click on Integrations, and in there you will see the Autotask there and instructions of exactly how to download it. Again, if questions come up regarding this, please feel free to reach out to your channel manager. They can provide you more details on it. These are some other minor ones that are at your disposal as well. We have a Chrome extension beta that's available. It has click-to-call capabilities, hover over the phone, going on a web page, and then within a web page, if there's a phone number that's available, you can literally click on that. That will open up the browser, and essentially you now have the ability to then make that call through your Intermedia Unite capabilities. Google Calendar integration, schedule and join meetings directly from a Google Calendar using Intermedia Unite. Again, providing a much more seamless experience for those that are essentially traditionally Chrome and Google users. The ability to start a meeting, one-click meeting, using any meetings directly from your Chrome browser. All of these things essentially are available today, and like I said, because they're in beta, you're able to click on the integrations tab and be able to try out these capabilities, and we want to know what you think so that we can make it better. Salesforce Lightning has also launched. We also have this in beta. The value of Salesforce Lightning, I think many of you that actually have customers that are using Salesforce know this value. If you're a Salesforce user, you want to automate that experience within Salesforce as much as possible. So now the ability to now have your dialer, and the ability to click to call capabilities, screen pops, pulling in for existing customer records, adding new contacts, understand, for example, caller behaviors as the call is coming in and be able to pull up those records as that call is coming in, all from a Salesforce account, just makes it, more efficient at the end of the day. So the beta capability that I'll tell you right now is only available through users that have Enterprise Lightning and Unlimited editions. When we actually launch this service, it'll be fully available across all Salesforce Lightning editions that are available, including Professional. But if you have customers that are interested in participating in this and they happen to be on Lightning or Unlimited, that is at your disposal. The next phase of this, which is also coming, will be in beta, is Salesforce Classic, which will also be available as well in the coming months, and we will have more information on that as well. Another minor update for your any meetings experience, again, the ability to do some annotations, so drawing on presentation screens and engaging with your contact. Again, it's free for all Intermedia users. I started playing with it accidentally on an executive presentation. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's a pretty cool service. I just need to watch my hands next time. Anyway, having said that, this is at your disposal, available for you, and free for you to use. Okay, so very quickly on partner training. So these are very quick 10-minute interactive training videos to help you understand how all these features work. So they are at your disposal. Everything in Intermedia University covering business SMS, contact sync, content management. There are other videos that we have as well related to spam filter. All of these things, we try to make these things as simple and easy as possible. Now, it's just a reminder, partners must take certification courses. If you're not an Intermedia certified partner and you want to be able to start selling Intermedia Unite, you must take these certification courses. We do try to make it as simple as possible for you, but this is all available for you in Intermedia Unite University. And again, within your partner sales portal, just reiterating this, we've provided you with everything that you need in order to enhance this experience to your customer. We've got email templates that are at your disposal. They explain exactly how these capabilities work, what is the value proposition, things that you can essentially take, click to dial, click, and send out to your customers. Intermediary branded templates. We have Elevate branded templates, co-branded ones that are available, data sheets, overview presentations. All of this stuff is there. You just need to decide on what you need for your customer and go through it. And again, like I said, we are always at your disposal to help you in case there is anything that you need to make the experience easier for you from a support perspective. So briefly wanted to talk about promotions. So just a couple of things. Again, these promotions are already in market, but just to reiterate that we have a special promotion for those that are continuously selling Exchange and Hex. If you're selling, users of Intermedia or a new Intermedia Unite account to a customer, we will essentially give their Exchange seat for free moving forward. Now there are some terms and conditions that are here, some limitations. I don't want to go through the T's and C's on the call, but feel free to contact, your Intermedia channel manager, or you can dial the 1-800 number to take advantage of it. This is also something that we've launched very, very recently, and for those partners that are actually selling Intermedia Unite and sell a minimum of 15K of Unite business in 2019, we will provide a 5-day, 4-night stay for two to a Hawaii vacation. The good thing is, if you've already sold it and it started between February 1st, 2019 and will end December 1st, 2019, you're automatically in. So, and there's no limits here. So you can go. It could be, if you get 30, you send 4, and there's no cap on this right now. So what I'm asking for is that if you manage to do 4 or 6, if you please include me in your travel plans, that would be wonderful. Since I did tell you about it. I would say I'm joking, but I'm really not sure if I'm joking. Who's going to turn down a trip to Hawaii? Okay, and we've provided instructions here for you. So if there's any more information, the terms and conditions here. And by the way, this presentation is going to be sent out to you, so you can easily click on that information. So let's go through a few questions that are coming up here, and I apologize if I don't know these questions, then or the answers to these questions, then we will certainly email and get this back to you. So the first question that has come up is, does this mean we can sell Unite Voice also in Puerto Rico? Absolutely. You have the ability to sell Unite Voice in Puerto Rico as a service. It is that is available for you now as well. There's some more information in terms of how to enable this. That support can help you through. There's some areas that need to be configured, but this is at your disposal. Second question, is there a plan to allow SMS for auto attendants or hunt groups in the future? This will be valuable for businesses who would like to field inquiries via text messaging from their website or social media. So the short answer to that is I don't know, but I will investigate that. There is enhancements to certainly make SMS much more available, much more intuitive, but we also need to be careful, from a hunt group perspective about, how it's being used and ensuring there isn't over abusiveness to this, especially when you start adding this into hunt groups. So abusiveness in terms of telemarketing and things of that nature, which we've seen in the past. Not to saying that customers will, but I guess if we enabled it, then we have to turn on the spam filter at the same time. But maybe that works. Anyway, what I will do, and this was to Jeremy, we'll get this information to you, and we will double check to see when this is coming, and then what some of those restrictions will be. Can business SMS be used by add-on numbers? For example, a company phone number. I'm not 100% of that, but essentially, if it is a phone number that exists right now that has been added to Unite, that phone number, say it, for example, has been ported over, will have the same capabilities as any other DID. So from there, the ability to send messages will exist. Now, it's important to note that obviously, if that company number, as an example, is sending out a message, it's obviously sending out to a mobile phone number, right? So that will be one of the components. But that, if I'm hearing it correctly, is available. Next question. The reporting is by area code of the call and how fast a call was answered. Not sure about that. I'm not sure if I understand the question there. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot of questions. Let me see. I'll have to filter a couple of these. Some of them have been answered. Let me go through these, okay? Okay, so how small can the contact center offering scale? Look, I think we are getting into the weeds of this, and I will tell you this, we have a couple of solutions that we can talk through. So, and we didn't talk about it on this call, but I will mention it. So we have our contact center solution that obviously is standalone. The other service that we're launching, which will be coming out shortly, and we'll have more details in this, is a call center solution. Not a contact, but call center. And what this does is it has very lightweight features that are addressable for an organization in small business that really is starting out into, launching a desktop support service. So things like, call whisperer, call monitoring, call barge, agent monitoring capabilities, agent analytic capabilities that would be at their disposal as well. So it's either on the contact center side or the call center side, there's no limitations of how low you can scale. The question really becomes on the complexity, right, of the customer. So we've deployed, solutions right now for very, very small customers, but the complexity of those needs, because there was multi-site, were quite high. So it all depends. There's no limit though on the number of seats that this can be deployed for. The question is again on solutions. We'll have more information on that once call center is ready, which is coming up very shortly. We're going to have another session on this, probably one dedicated to this, to really go through the details and the differences between call center and contact center. But again, if there are specific opportunities that have come up, feel free to reach out. We will make sure that these get through. Okay, will there be public APIs available in the future? Yes. So we have a program that we're developing. The program is called Extend. And Extend is a platform that will exist. And this will be a phased approach that we're working on, something that's coming out in Q4 initially, that is going to talk about a suite of new integrations that we offer, branded integrations. And the phase 2 of this approach is going to cover a couple of areas. One is going to be APIs that will be available across the UCaaS platform. So this will include areas like SMS, desktop, analytic capabilities, and collaboration side as well as contact center. So we intend to have all those things available, but initially out of the gate, the Extend platform will focus on a list of branded integrations that we will have, more so than what you see right now, that will be available to you in the packages, with a following to then a set of what I would call resting APIs. Let's see. So do all these features and updates apply to Elevate as well? Yes, absolutely, they apply to Elevate. So everything that we're showcasing here apply to Intermedia branded, co-branded, or Elevate. Advisors have this at their disposal as well. So this is all available. Okay, we'll come back. There's a question about show the channel partner number again to call. I'll go back to that slide in a minute. Okay, can you say again where we get info on the free exchange seat? Yeah, so if the free exchange seat, let's go back one slide. The free exchange seat in the bottom, and we'll send out this deck to you guys so that you have it available, but at the bottom there are some, you'll see the terms and conditions that are there. Those terms and conditions have all the details that you need there. Okay, what else? Wow, questions keep coming in. Okay. Will there be end user training being loaded to YouTube soon? SMS, Salesforce. Absolutely. We actually have them there now. So if you actually search onto YouTube, you will find one for SMS. Salesforce hasn't officially launched yet, but when it does, absolutely. SMS is there, AutoTask is there. We have one for spam caller protection. All of them are there. Just search Intermedia plus whatever item you want. They're also available in your portal as well, where you can see those videos. When will the call center features be available to test and use? A great question. We don't have an answer on that, but we are trying our best to sorry, when you said call center, so there's two aspects here we're talking about. So if it's contact center, if it's call center features that we're talking about, which is the lightweight contact center capabilities, this we'll be looking to have available to you sometime in mid-September is when the beta will be out. So I would say in the next 15 days, this will be at your disposal. If it's contact center, that's a bit of a different game because we're trying to still figure that out, but call center definitely will be available in mid-September for you to use. Are there any other promotions around other services like AnyMeeting, Contact Share? Yes, there are. So in your portal, we have a section for promotions. If you click on that, you will see other promotions that are available. I can tell you right now for sure, there is a very similar promotion to the one you're seeing right now for Exchange that is available for AnyMeetings as well. So something that is at your disposal and something that you can start looking at now. Okay, will Telax be integrated or have integration capabilities with Unite? Absolutely. Our intention behind this is to provide a very very seamless experience between Contact Center and Unite. Now, the value of this, I will tell you right now, I personally have been in the industry for quite some time, so I've had the opportunity to work for a number of competitors, including 8x8 and RingCentral. And the amalgamation of communication capabilities is on everybody's mind. But the challenge that you see right now are two. One has been either the integrations that are happening right now are not as seamless because they're controlled by third parties. So when that happens, you can't necessarily control the experience because you don't own the platform. Or the other option is that or the organization actually has it, but it's legacy based. It's on a different platform, and they're spending a lot of time figuring out how to integrate these platforms before they can even get to the user experience. I'll let you decide which one fits into which category, but our value proposition by acquiring this, Telax is a very small, nimble organization. We essentially have, and in acquiring this, we have a very strong active plan in place right now to integrate this as quickly as possible, initially starting with the billing side of it to have single bill capabilities, and then moving over to product enhancements and capabilities, integrating things like chat capabilities, the omni-channel experience, other areas. But there will be more information to come on this. Oh, ETA on MMS. I knew that was coming. I appreciate that. I do not have the details on that as of yet, but I will get that. I know it's being actively worked on, and it is going to be a fast follower, but we do not have any specific dates. I know it's on everybody's mind. I know this has been an ask from a number of our partners. What we will try and do is we will try and get some more specific information. So hopefully when we host the next webinar, we'll be able to talk about that. But what I'll do is I'll try and get some more specific information, Zachary, on it and see if we can get you some more details. Okay. Sorry, and one other thing related to ShareSync, there is a ShareSync promotion as well available for 3 months for new users on any plan. So that is also at your disposal as well. Okay. So any other questions at all? So I see one here for Goldmine. Sorry, are there any plans for Goldmine contact center integration? Not as of yet. However, what I will tell you is that as we continue to evolve our Extend platform, which includes the integrations and APIs, which we'll have more information on, because the availability of those APIs will be there, the ability to onboard new applications with some similar capabilities like click to dial, click to call capabilities, meeting integrations, analytics, all that type of stuff will be more easily and readily available. That one I haven't seen as of yet, but I can double check to see if we actually have that in the roadmap. Jonathan, I'll double check on that one too. He really okay, I see you really want it. Thank you for that. Okay, any other questions? Don't see anything else. Oh, okay. So apologize for that. The exchange promotion link says through 7/31. Don't worry about that, Charlie. It's currently active right now. Apologize. We'll make sure we update that. It is currently running. It is currently available. Initially, the plan was, it would end, but there's been a lot of demand for that, and we've extended it. I'll make sure that gets updated. But currently, there's no cap on it right now. Great. That is pretty much it, guys. I hope this was informative for you. You will definitely get a copy of the recording. I will make sure that this goes out, but I hope this was informative. I hope I get the opportunity to do this again with you guys. We will have much more information. I'm so super excited to see what's coming down the pipe for our partners. It's amazing times to be with Intermedia. Having seen, and work with other UCaaS providers, I chose this company for a reason, because of the innovation, because of how quickly they move, and because of the level of partner support that they provide. And I'm excited to show you all the great things that are coming out. But if there are any questions that are coming out, feel free to reach out to your channel manager. If there's something specific for me, welcome to reach out to me as well. I'm always happy to help wherever I can. Thanks everyone for joining again, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Take care, everybody.